All right, we are back. You are tuned in to News and Views with myself, Umama Murileri. We've had an absolutely amazing first hour. Where we spoke all things matcha because really, I don't think it would be an Umama show without us talking about matcha. We had the business spotlight with Meher from Doe and Co. And it was such a refreshing conversation. I hope you all were listened in or tuned in rather throughout that conversation. Now we are back, and I thought for my last show, for my last day of the show, for the last day of 2025, what better conversation to have than reflections, and looking into 2026 with a positive outlook and. Yeah, just a little moment to look back and have our um 2025 moment really. And so I'm very, very excited to have this conversation. And joined in with me today is Muhammed Amod, who is the CEO of Starline Logistics, who is going to be coming on and talking all things conversation with me, talking all things 2025 with me. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the show.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so
So,
much for
what topic would you
joining.
like to touch on today?
Sorry.
Say, what topics would you like to touch on today?
We've got a lot to talk on. I've got all my questions prepared for you. I didn't want to mess up or forget anything, so we'll get right into it so that we don't waste any time. My first
Definitely.
question for you is, as you look back onto 2025, as you look back on the year, how would you sum it up? Give us a full, honest answer on how you would give us a full reflection in like 30 seconds of 2025.
2025 has been quite a difficult year for me. It's been quite challenging, I'd say. With all the things that I had to take on, especially with the competitive markets as work has been. And then recently, my dad has not been too well. So it's been a bit difficult, but we've been navigating ourselves through it. But yeah, that's 2025 summed up for me. It's been a difficult year, but we've been persevering and pushing through and keeping it as professional as we possibly can. That's what you should always be striving to do.
I think the fact that you sat with us in the show and the fact that you're with us right now is a full testament to itself that as much as 2025 was what some would say a horrible, horrible year, you made it, and alhamdulillah, really.
Definitely. Okay.
My next question for you is, what's one lesson this year taught you that you think more people need to hear?
Okay, so more people really need to understand that the relationship with themselves and the relationship with God matters more than anything else in this world. Because even if you try to create a relationship with another person, how are you going to do it if you have a bad relationship with yourself? You have to be a people person in order to grow relationships. And then also another very important piece of advice is who you choose to be your partner. You understand? If you are going to get married or decide to be in a relationship, make sure that your goals align with their goals. Because if you don't, and if their goals don't, then you are just looking to walk into failure at any given time. So yeah, make sure that God, yourself, and the partner that you choose for the future are your number three or number one priority. Sorry, and keep that as your main focus. So that's first and foremost thing that you should be worrying about.
I think whenever I have a show, we have a very almost a younger audience, and so I hope you all are listening. That you choose good partners, and that 26 needs to be a year that I'm invited to every single one of you guys' weddings because I told you to get married to someone right. If I don't get the wedding invites, we're going to have a problem. I think for me, 2025 was, I can say it was a mix of both. It was an absolutely amazing year that I find myself here with Sanaa Media. But of course behind the scenes it was quite something really. And if you follow my social medias, you guys, I made you all go through everything with me. And I said I'm not gonna struggle on my own. Y'all would struggle with me by force. But looking back now, I think I don't know what moment it was for me. I think it's when I had my Ramadan show really, and I would sit back and watch it back and thought to myself like, you know what, as much as things are going kind of wonky right now, like these are big things in my life, and it's taking these things and just allowing yourself to be happy and just allowing yourself to appreciate the small wins, really. And so I think that was the moment that something
Definitely.
clicked for me. So I want to ask you, what was a moment
Yeah.
that something clicked in your mind that, you know what, 2025 is going to be a good year, and things are going to work out for me, really.
Well, look, right. To be quite honest with you, there wasn't a moment in 2025. It's always been compounding from years prior to that. That, you know what, the next day or the next month or the next year is going to be better than what it was prior to this. And that's what we should always be looking forward for. And another thing is, what I've personally realized is that I sat myself in my car one day and I was at work and I was just looking around. I said to myself, all these things that I've accomplished, they might not seem like it's that much of an accomplishment to me, but it's everything that I've wanted to do over all the span of these years. So sometimes you just really have to sit and look at the things that you've accomplished and that you've done, and you've got to be proud of yourself, and you've got to say, you know what, okay, I've actually made it this far, even though it might not seem like I've done a lot. I've done everything that I've ever wanted to do from all those years ago. So yeah, you've got to start believing in yourself from time prior in order to get that mindset and the goal that you want to achieve in the future. So there wasn't a point in 2025 per se because it's always been a belief for me that I will win, I will get there, I will get what I want. So yeah, mindset is everything. Definitely.
We had a
Definitely.
bit of this conversation yesterday with Fired Up, where
Yeah.
we spoke about how goals are, especially going into 2026, you can't just write your goals down, say, I'm going to do this goal tomorrow. It's something that you have to work on. It's a process of finding your goal, setting your goal, and then achieving that goal. So that is exactly what you're saying to us right now, that it's about, knowing in long term and short term goals, and working your way through them, not just saying, I'm going to do something, but actually following through and seeing yourself achieve these things. I think it's
100%.
it's the most rewarding feeling,
And
really.
one of my teachers,
I
Miss
want to
Nana
ask
Bawa,
you,
she always said,
today being, yes.
yes, one of my teachers in school, Miss Nana Bawa, always said that, you know what, you should reach for the moon, but if you don't get there, you land amongst the stars. So look, your ambition should be so high that even if you don't reach the highest echelons of life, you're still going to get to some point where you're going to feel like, okay, I've succeeded and I've accomplished as much as I possibly could. You should never ever tell yourself that this is impossible for me to do, or because someone else is doing it, I can't do it, or because they had a better start in life that you can't do it. There's plenty of people out there who give themselves enough reason to doubt and to not believe in themselves or their talents, but that's something that people should definitely put aside and believe in themselves a little bit more. So sorry I cut you off there, but I just felt that that was a bit important for me to say. So yeah, you can go on.
No, 100%. 100%. Good thing you cut me off, because I hope you all heard what you had to say there, you guys. Um, my question for you was, at this time of the year, or at this, last few days, everyone is having this idea that when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to be a completely different person because it's a new year. Which unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. You're going to be the exact same person
No, it
that you were
doesn't.
today when you wake
Not at all.
up.
You can't
I
like
think we have.
expect now to. Sorry.
Mhm. No, go on. It's fine.
I say you can't expect now to make a change to yourself that isn't going to be happening in something that it takes 3 months to 6 months to a year to happen in 1 month or in one day. It doesn't work like that. If you're going to go to the gym, you have to go to the gym for at least 6 months before you see some results. Or if you train MMA, you have to go get your nose broken or your arm hurts, whatever the case might be, before you get strong enough to be in a position where you can like take on something else. People just get into the New Year's thinking, okay, New Year, new me, but that's crap. It's a new year with the same crap that you've been doing all this time. It doesn't change unless you get up and change and do something for yourself. So New Year's Eve guys should not be about, okay, where we're gonna go passing, which club are we gonna go to, which cousin am I gonna phone? No, it should be about which business opportunity am I gonna look into next? What am I gonna be doing next? How can I be making my next 10 grand for the week? 10,000 rand is a small amount of money. You know what I'm trying to say? And
Mm.
even though that, in our past, maybe our parents might have been earning that amount of money, we should be looking to earn that on a weekly basis. Um, so yeah, I think people should be focusing on the reality of things as opposed to focusing on what they believe the reality to be. But maybe in a month's time or in a few days' time, I'll have all my goals in order. I'll have all my eggs in the basket. But it really isn't like that. So start focusing on what's important and get your backside off the bed and go to work, because that's the only thing that's going to enable you to reach the goals that you want to reach. Saying it's just it's not going to help anyone at all. So yeah, the whole New
100%.
Year's resolution thing should just get thrown in the trash, in my opinion. Because like I said, work is compounding. So if you've been doing the work from 2025, then you should be able to say, okay, well, yeah, maybe I'll have a New Year's resolution in February or March, because then I know I've completed my year, I've got where I wanted to be, and now we can progress because I've reached the goals that I wanted to for 2025. Even if it took me a little extra time into 2026, but now I'm ready to go and pursue my goal for 2027. And I feel like it should be working that way there. Uh, so yeah, you can tell me what your opinion on it is, but that's just my view on this.
I think it's like it's a shaky grounds there because there's so many different people. There's this, and then if people say no, you must have New Year's resolution. What are you doing going into the next year without anything? And there's people that are like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Like the year will just
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah.
And so
That's
having these
awesome.
conversations, I've been having a lot of these 2026 sort of conversations, and the answers I've gotten are quite surprising. Really, some people just don't really
Like, I'm
care,
gonna start my
honestly.
own makeup brand. I'm gonna start my own clothing brand. I'm gonna do this. It doesn't ever happen the way they say it's gonna happen. And I can tell you
Exactly.
this
But
here
now
from
we have
personal
people like
experience.
this, right? We
Yeah,
have people who are like, I'm going to start this makeup brand and clothing brand and everything. But then you also have people who feel like now they're behind because everyone's in this rush of vision boards and just doing incredible things. So what would you
yeah,
advise sort of
100%.
um, be to someone who's feeling behind at this moment and feeling like they haven't achieved as much in 2025 and they're not going to achieve in 2026?
Okay, so this is a very good one, right? Because I'd like to touch into this. In this market that I'm in, or rather in this industry that I'm in, logistics, it's so saturated. If you take a walk down the road, you'll see 10 or 20 different trucks everywhere. You understand? And the prices are very competitive. So when I started 3 years ago, I said to myself, you know what, where do I lie in all of this here? And you have to be able to give the people something that no one else can. You either have to give them a better rate, better service, or you have to have a better relationship with them. Like I said in the beginning of our conversation, um, this all revolves around your people skills, the relationships you build with people, and so on. So coming back to what I was going to say, um, I think that people really should just really just give me a minute there. Just give me a minute, sorry. Um, yeah, that's what I was saying. People should just really, really focus on what they want. And I think that you need to come back to what you were saying, because I kind of got a bit carried away with what I was saying. And I forgot the question that you asked me initially. Sorry
Um,
about that. Yeah.
no problem. Question was just that if someone is feeling behind
Yes,
and
yes, sorry. I
everybody
was
is sort
telling
of
you
feeling
about
so
my
excited
experience
for
in the industry.
2025, yeah, where would you
Yeah,
tell
you
them?
gotta you gotta you gotta find a way to give the people a product that they don't have, or a service that they can't get from anyone else. And many a times people lose motivation when they see other people like in a big industry doing something that they want to do. Like, I'll give you an example of clothing brand, right? How many clothing brands are there everywhere? So you gotta look, and you gotta position yourself in a niche as well, to where there is a high demand for it, so that you can give people your services. Because opening a clothing brand, for example, is just not enough. You understand? Or opening up a makeup brand is just not enough. So even if you feel like you're behind, go and study what you want to do, as in not going to college to study, so not going to university to study. Go and study everything about it. You have to go into the field. You have to speak to people that have been in the industry already. You have to grow your relationships with people. You have to grow yourself as a person. And that's the only way that you can get ahead compared to everyone else in a circumstance that you want to be if you feel like you're going to be left behind. And also another thing to take into consideration is when you want to copy and paste another person's business exactly as it is. So if you find a winning business as per se, right, and your business is winning and you will definitely make profit off of that there, then what you can do is copy that person's business idea and maybe you can add your own twist inside of it to maybe get a better result, get a better profit off it. Yeah. So that's just that.
You guys heard. I don't think I have much to say really. He gave all of the advice that we needed to get, and I hope that you guys have been writing down for your 2026 resolutions. That it's
Sorry guys.
really from my side what I what.
No, I said I'm sorry. I just get I have very bad memory. If anyone just is wondering why I got stopped over here. So if I do get too in
But
depth with something, I will
for
come
everything
back
that you
to
said though,
answer your question.
it was everything that you said though is something that need to be heard in different aspects really, with regards
Definitely.
to business, and with regards to just life in general, and how you're going to look into the new year in a way that actually makes sense. And we
So
were talking about setting goals and things of that sort, and it becomes a bit of a like we're saying that people feel behind and things like that. But now the question is, how can people set these goals without burning themselves out? Because yes, we have all of these steps that we can take in order to start the business and do this and do that, but it's very very easy to get burnt out. So why don't we go into that, and how can you do all of this without trying to get burnt out really?
okay, so there's going to be a lot of controversy around this year, but why wouldn't you want to get burnt out? Why wouldn't you want to work so hard that every bone in your body is sore and tired? Because you know what, at the end of the day, right, if you're working for yourself, then why not put the extra effort in? Because another person will. So I'm an employer. I have employees, and I understand what it's like to be on both ends of the spectrum, right? And I can tell you that as an employer, right, I will see my employees and I want them to give me the most of themselves at any given time. So why can't you put your all into your own business, into your own self, into your own brand, and just work on that and grow on that as opposed to worrying about something else? Also, I need to backtrack on what we were talking about talking about burning yourself out. Yes, yeah, you should be able to work so hard that you don't think about burning yourself out. That's just the fear that people have been put into them. Well, like, what's going to happen to you if you go and work so hard that you're so tired, you're struggling yourself back home to you, but you're going to sleep and you're going to wake up and you're going to be okay again. You have to have the mindset that, you know what, if today was a bad day or today I got burnt out, I'm ready tomorrow to go and face and get burnt out again in the pursuit of winning. You understand? If you don't do that, then what's the point of it? What's the purpose of doing something without going all in on it? You might as well just go back and sleep. Or you might as well just go and work for a normal company or come work for someone like me and I'll burn you out myself. So yeah, people really gotta think about um, not feeling sorry for themselves because if you go into like I use the gym as an example, if you go into the gym, you're gonna get burnt out there. You're gonna go and feel fatigued, and you're gonna feel like, you know what, I did a lot, but at the end of the day, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna say, you know what, I look so good in the mirror because of all the effort and the pain that you went through. There's no progress without any pain. So people should actually not think about the whole burning out situation at all, and they should think about how can I burn myself out in order to get the most out of my day and the most out of myself. And I think they should just stick with that mindset because that has been very beneficial to me. And for any male audience that are listening, work yourself to the bone because you've got a good few years to do it. If you're in the range of 16 to 25, you have a good 9 years to make the most of your life. You can reach the highest echelons if you just keep your head in the right place and do the right things and, focus on God and Allah. So just don't think too much about burning yourself out. Focus on setting clear goals. Focus on working as hard as you possibly can to reach the highest echelons. To see that no other male can compete with you, you must always feel like you're the best in the room. As a female, you must always keep yourselves modest, and also um, there's many things that females like to do, or they want to do, or they feel like they want to pursue, but they don't have the ability or the backing to do it. And I feel like they should empower themselves as well in order to feel like they can reach those goals without having to feel like there's competition or without getting burnt out as such. There's plenty of things that I've seen many women able to do that most men can't do as well. So if there's females listening out here, don't get demotivated by me talking about males. Build on yourself. If you want to study, like I said, choose a partner who will allow you to go and do all of that there. If you don't have a partner in mind at the moment, then make sure you focus on yourself and you ground yourself. And in your pursuit of whatever you'd like to do, now that you've got a good grounding, I don't think you'll get very burnt out. And especially with that mindset of going into something without worrying about getting burnt out should be quite good. Yeah, I think that's a fairly long and fairly good answer to the question that you gave me, and very direct and very harsh as well. But that's very harsh.
Now, the issue with that, not really an issue, but what I'm gonna throw at you now is a question that goes completely against the entire answer. Let me see how you're gonna answer
Go
this
for it. Go
question
for it.
for me. Okay, is that
Go for it.
what advice would you give to someone who wants growth but also wants peace? They don't want to burn out. They just want to relax, but they also want growth at the same time. What would you tell them? And be nice. What would you tell them instead of being harsh?
Oh, there's no nice answer to this, man. Look, if you're in a situation, what are you going to wait for someone to come and save you? Mommy and daddy is not going to come and save you, my guys. And none of your cousins or your friends or anyone is going to come and save you either. You have to do it for yourself. You have to, there's no easy way out of it. You can't open your laptop and say, okay, you know what, today I want to trade Forex, or today I want to start drop shipping. Where are you going to get the cash to do that from? You have to go work for it in order to go and do something that's easy. There has to be hard work in order for you to create a system in place. Then you can only sit back and be like, okay, yeah, now I can relax. How do you think all the millionaires and stuff are doing across the world? Because they have worked so hard that they've got companies in place and they've got people in the companies and they can go on holidays and they can go anywhere else they want to go in the world. They can open whatever business they want to because they've got people working for them. Now they can relax. Are you a boss? Are you a CEO? Do you feel like you have I'm still here in Durban, I'm working. I don't have the ability to go now across the world and say to myself, I want to go on a holiday because I'm not using mommy and daddy's money over here. So unless you have very wealthy parents or unless you have a very wealthy family that's gonna hook you up with a really good job that you enjoy, that you might feel is gonna be relaxing, or unless you have something that you're doing as a hobby for you that is bringing you peace while you work and is bringing you good profit, good luck to you because you're not gonna find anything that's gonna bring you happiness and joy as what you're looking for with the result that you're looking for as well. You have to give something to get something back. So you can't really say, okay, well, we're going to be laid back and lazy, and we're going to get the results that you want to get. It's not going to happen. Sorry to say. And if you want me to
You
be
guys
more
all
harsh
got
about this, I
shouted
can. I can.
by, by Muhammad and Salam Media. You all got shouted at what 9 o'clock in the morning. I do apologize.
Look,
But you know what? You guys need
I
to
hope
hear
that you
it.
want
You
me
need
on
to
again
hear it.
because I'm looking forward to speaking to the audience and to giving them advice. And look, you know what, guys? I know there's a lot of young males in the audience here, and this you can um, I want you to all do this freely and openly. For all the young males and all the old males, or however old they might be, whatever the case might be, everyone is going through something. Everyone is going through something mentally or physically, and they don't have anyone to talk about it, or some people might be at the verge of ending their lives, whatever the case might be, um, you can talk to me. We can talk. We can work this out, and we can look to a better future. You don't have to feel like you're stuck, because now we were talking about the new year coming up. A lot of people had goals in 2025 that they weren't able to accomplish or achieve, or maybe they had one goal and they couldn't even achieve or accomplish their goal, and now they feel like, okay, you know what, my life is over. I don't know what to do with myself. I didn't go to college. I didn't pass matric. All that crap. I understand where you guys are coming from. And in that, I want to say, look, there is someone to talk to. You guys can email me on my company email at starlinelogisticsza@gmail.com. If you have an issue, if you want to talk about something, if you don't know where to turn, I'm here for you. I feel like the biggest problem in the male community is that they feel like they're alone and they don't have anyone to talk to. And when they have done some sort of work or they've accomplished something, then they want a little bit of recognition for it. And they might not get it, and that might demotivate them to push themselves further to get to where they want to get. So that's not what we want. We want to be able to have a community of strong young and old men, or whatever the case might be, but everyone must be strong and willing to accomplish their goals and not feel like they're demoralized by society or by the life that they may have led or by the circumstances that they've come from. Look, we all haven't come from the same circumstances. We all didn't come from a rich background or from a rich family or from a family where we both have both parents. So yeah, we all have these issues, right? But they are solvable, and they are solvable together, and they will not be solved by you trying to inflict harm or using substances if it's not going to help at all. So again, if you want to contact me at any given time, you can message me on my work email. Unfortunately, I can't give you my personal stuff because this female is listing here. So starlinelogisticsza@gmail.com, right? Any given time, you're most welcome to send me all of your
We
problems
will
and your problems.
share. I will share all of the information, etc., on my socials later, inshallah. For anybody who
Okay,
is
that'll be perfect.
interested, and I think we will drop that on a mic drop moment almost, because unfortunately we have reached the end of the show. There's still so many more questions that I've had for you, but time is not on our side. It has been
Definitely.
absolutely amazing talking to you, and you shouting to people and everything. It was quite something to watch. So thank you so
Sorry
so
for
so much
shouting
for
at you
joining
guys.
me.
So sorry for shouting at you guys, but I think that no one else is going to tell you what I have to tell you. And maybe I gave you a lot of information and it wasn't in context as it should have been, but it definitely reached people as it should have. So I hope you'll make
Yeah.
the best of it, and I hope to see you all again soon sometime, if you're willing
Yeah,
to have me
guys,
on.
this him saying that he wants to come on Salam Media again. He must just say he wants to come on Salam Media.
Yeah, yeah,
But
definitely,
yeah, it
definitely.
has been an amazing show. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to all of the listeners for joining into this segment of News and Views. My name is Umama, and it has been quite the show. Thank you so much. We're going to go on ad breaks, and we will be back shortly.
Assalamu alaikum, guys.